friends. Welcome to Discussing Dogs on the D podcast, where Detroit's dog lovers come together. Hi, I'm Christine. And whether you're a rescue volunteer, a pet parent, a shelter supporter, or just someone who can't pass a dog on the street without saying hi, you're in the right place. Let's talk about all things dogs and how they change our lives and how we can possibly change theirs. Welcome back to the show. Today on the podcast, I have Megan. She is the owner-operator of Canine Kardio. I'm not even going to try to explain all the things that this is. We are actually meeting Megan in her van. I just want you to take it away. Tell us about your van, the slat mills, all the things that we're in right now.
Yeah. So if you don't know what a slat mill is, it is pretty much a dog-powered tread. So your dog can go as slow or as fast as they want. They can take breaks whenever they want. I do have the speedometers that are on them. So one of the fun features is to track their speeds. But yeah, I mean, it's just a really great way to get some energy out.
Oh yeah, get your dog exercise. So they're not electric. They're dog powered. Just to explain that a little bit.
So a lot of people try to get their dog on like a regular motor treadmill.
Communal treadmill too, right?
Yeah. And a lot of people are like, my dog hated it. It was awful. And I think that is because the motor, like the
sound here better than we do, and it's like, oh, I don't like this. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I feel like it's either the sound of the motor or like the tread of a regular treadmill is more like rubbery and sticky kind of. So I feel like it's probably both of those things.
Okay,
let's together.
And it wasn't built for dogs. I know that there are treadmills specifically for dogs and smaller motors, whatever, but same thing, a little bit different than what you've got here with this, and it's actual slats. And it's, when they're running, I've seen your videos. When they're actually running, you can't even see the slats. It's so fast. I know you have a couple of dogs that are really super fast too. And it's just like they're going at it. So they completely power it themselves.
Okay. And I would say also too that with a regular treadmill, the motorized one, it's definitely a little bit more dangerous to do it on one of those because they can go at such a fast speed. So obviously, if you set it at a faster speed than your dog is willing to go, then it could, pull them down. And even the ones that they have for dogs, like the dog pacers, which are fantastic, but some dogs can go faster than what those motors are built for. Like, I want to say I've talked to some training companies that have those, and I want to say, don't quote me on this, but I think that they only go like maybe 6 to 8 miles.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I definitely have some dogs that go faster.
I was going to say, I could see some dogs getting frustrated because they want to go faster and like, this is all you got.
Yep.
Or even some of the dogs when they're like, I'm done, and you're not paying attention, you're seeing what they're just like frustrated because they want to stop, so they can stop whenever they want. They can go faster if they wanted to.
Yeah,
that's pretty incredible. So, I've seen all sorts of dogs that you've worked with, but is there a certain type of dog that you're looking for or not looking for? Or is this something that only, working dogs? I mean, tell us about like who you want on your slat mills.
Honestly, there's not really a single dog that I would say that I don't want to work with.
Okay.
I would say that the ones that enjoy it the most and probably are most confident with it would be your working breeds.
Okay.
I just ran a German short-haired pointer who goes about 13 miles an hour. Your Malinois go really fast. So yeah, the working breeds are definitely the most confident on it, I would say. I always really like to see the anxious dogs because I feel like that is the most rewarding because I know that it calms down their brain. That's the most rewarding. And then also your nervous, scared dogs. Like, I always tell clients that the first time your dog gets on, they're more than likely not going to full out sprint because they don't really understand what's going on under their feet. But most dogs, their second time around, do fantastic because they kind of know what they're supposed to be doing.
I gotcha.
So I would say the dogs that are scared, it's very rewarding to see them come back a second time with tail wagging, ready to jump in the van. Just seeing their behaviors change because they they know what they're doing.
Because you're making this a positive experience for them. Yeah, you're cheering them on or rewarding them, and they get maybe a snack in between, but you're trying to get them to come to the snack or the toy or the ball. Sometimes balls, they're like, that gets that dog running, right? Yeah, and they are excited about it.
Yes, and I feel like I've been finding too that even just verbal praise is probably one of the biggest motivators.
Okay.
I've been joking around with some of my clients lately, like my label should be a professional cheerleader, because literally, like, you do have to have so much energy for this job.
I see a meme coming eventually where it's your dog's cheerleader of the day. I feel like this is not anything I've ever seen in Michigan.
Yeah.
And even when I have seen it other places, it's not mobile. So what got you into this?
Yeah. So I would say my dog Lila. So she is dog reactive. So it's fantastic for dog reactive dogs and even human reactive dogs.
Yes.
I know that it's hard to get reactive dogs out in the public. And I worked at a training facility for about 6 years. And they had one at their training facility. And I saw how beneficial that it was for other dogs using it. And even just getting them on the slat mill for 5 or 10 minutes before we start training, it seemed like it made them kind of soak in the training information a little bit easier because they were calmer.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Lila got me started into it. And then just the experience of being at a training facility with one for quite a few.
Oh, yeah. So why mobile versus why not have why not set this up? I know that there are places that want you in their store, want you in their facilities. You come have a slat mill here and do these here.
Mm-hmm.
So why mobiles?
Honestly, I think it's purely just convenience.
Okay.
So there was a 2-month period of time where I had to give my van to the shop because something with the power steering.
Oh, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, it was awful. They just didn't have the part for it. So fortunately, Scrubbers was able to host me at one of their locations. So I was able to get the slat mills out of the van and into their shop. And I definitely gained a few customers from that. But I will say I was not near as busy as I am when I'm on the road, because people just really like the convenience of it.
Okay.
Plus, a lot of my clients use me for not only exercise midday, but if they aren't home, then that means that their dog gets a potty break as well.
Oh my gosh. It's convenient for your clients because they're working and you drop and visit too.
Yeah.
So you're going to their home, letting their dog out, pottying them, getting them on the slat mill, and then you potty them again and put them back on the harrow.
Yeah.
So they're getting
Twofer.
Yeah. So they're getting that. I can see where, yes, your clients want you there. Oh, that's incredible. So for those that are not watching on YouTube, and I don't have I'm just going to say this. I don't have a lot of people watching on YouTube yet, but for those that are just listening on podcasts, can explain the setup in your van. So we visually have here.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in a very tiny space.
Yes. On a big van though.
It is. It's a big van, but especially when you have a whole family that wants to watch their dogs.
First, it can get cramped. And it's temperature controlled. So we're recording this on a really cold day, but I am feeling warm and toasty in here. I feel pretty good. It's not too hot, but it's enough for to keep it warm.
Absolutely. And honestly, my heat is not at full max right now, and it is 68 degrees.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'll start with the slat mills. So the small slat mill has a 70-pound limit. So that's typically for your smaller dogs.
Okay.
The larger slat mill is 170-pound limit. It's not always just about the poundage of the dog. It's also about their length.
Oh, okay.
I always want the dog to be able to get a full sprint on it.
Okay.
So if the dog is longer than this small slat mill, I will typically put them on the larger one. But it's also too about how much weight that they can work as well.
Okay.
So a small dog, I've had 4-pound that get on the small slat mill.
So they can be really small.
They can be very small.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, that was tiny. Okay.
Yeah. And especially like the 4-pounder, sometimes I have to like get it moving for them just to get the momentum going. But also the incline and the decline on them. So the only battery that there is to the slat mill is to raise the front hydraulic lift for incline or declines, especially when a dog first starts on a slat mill. I don't always put the incline on right away because I don't want them to get nervous about it and go too fast.
Oh, gotcha.
But also if I incline it just a little bit, it does help them kind of pull it back behind.
And push harder.
Exactly.
So yeah, small and big. Have you ever had to turn someone away because their dog is too big?
No, I have not.
Oh, good. I was going to say, I've heard of some really big dogs. Yeah. I mean, 170 pounds, I'm thinking that's cute.
Yeah.
You know,
I have actually just today, I ran a Cane Corso who is probably around 110, 120.
Okay.
But I also have another Mastiff who does more pop-ups, I would say, than like individual sessions.
Okay.
But that Mastiff is probably close to 140.
Let's bookmark pop-ups too. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
That's incredible that you have, okay, these large dogs and you have a slat mill that fits just about, that covers a lot of breeds, a lot of dogs out there. So you have the slat mills, and I see in the back corner you have harnesses too. So you have all these different size harnesses that you fit them so they're going to be comfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you don't want too big, too small. You want it to fit just right, and you adjust it for.
Yep. And I will say, during the consultation, I always have, the consultation means that the owner is going to be there. I always ask them if their dog has a harness that they wear on the regular, and if it works with the slat mill and they're comfortable with it, I don't need to use mine, but obviously I do have a plethora.
Oh, I was going to say, you have a lot. You have items like that for them to fit into. And then I see, well, behind you, with balls and squeaky toys.
Yep.
They're welcome to bring their own, though, right?
Absolutely.
But you have all the fun stuff here. I would say, like a Belgian Malinois, they're going to want that Frisbee or that ball, right? Yep. You've got noisemakers of all different kinds, kind of like I do with the tiger. You want to make, if one noise isn't pulling them and then you create that other noise, sometimes that's what gets them going. Or even, I've seen, you have, what is it, live?
I have my coyote tails.
Okay. And it's like real stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have like coyote tails. I have raccoon tails. I have rabbit ears. I have like these like fur covered squeakers with a rabbit. So yeah, I do try to get some pretty high priority stuff that
it's high value for them, right?
Yeah.
So if a plastic squeaker or a ball doesn't work, you're going to try something else.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's not that they're nervous. It's like, I don't even care about whatever you've got there, then you've got to give me something else.
Right.
Yeah.
It's easier too if you can find their motivation, easier to get them to ignore what's going on under them and focus on getting something.
Yeah. And then rewarding at the end.
I do have treats and stuff in here too, but I do try to use those sparingly just because I don't want the dog to get sick or have bloat. But if treats are what motivates them, I will use a few treats.
So I'm with you. When I'm doing pet photos, I actually don't even offer treats anymore. Try not to. Because I've had so many weird experiences because dogs, just like humans, have treat allergies.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to offer like something like Angela's Treat Stash, where it's like that one meat product and it's not like a biscuit. I'm trying not to do this anymore anyway. I say that and it still always happens where you don't have any treats for But anyway, the fact that I'm with you, let's try and motivate them some other way before we give them snacks, because one, they can get sick. We don't know their treat allergies. We don't want them throwing up. That kind of.
Well, and I will say on my intake forms, I always ask if dogs do have allergies. I typically do not ever bring chicken into the van just because I know that that's one of the biggest proteins that dogs.
Whenever I ask, is your dog allergic to anything? Oh, poultry. It's yes, you're right. Yeah, chicken is very common. An allergen for dogs.
Yeah.
Is there anything else in this van that you'd like want to tell people about? You want to share? Like, what are we looking at?
I would say it's just a lot of preparedness, I would say. So
on a scale here too.
Yeah, you're gonna wait. Yeah. So starting from like the left side of the van and going right, Over here, I keep track of the stats.
We have all of these, oh my gosh, canine cardio friends. Oliver, Winston, Sweetie. Oh my gosh, I think I might know some of these, but this is really cool. You're keeping their stats on your board here.
Yeah, so I have their name, their age, their max speed, their average speed. And once I have their max speed and average speed, I can kind of calculate their distance.
Okay.
So yeah, those are my stats.
I love that.
And then I have water and water bowls if needed.
Just in case.
I will never have a dog drink an entire bowl of water because, again, I don't want them to get bloat or get sick. And then I have my toys, service agreement for when I do pop-ups, no care for eats. I do have a first aid kit that I have never used.
Knock on wood.
I know.
Well, you never have to use it, right?
And then I have cleaning supplies, harnesses, extra leashes. And then, yeah, down here I have my scale. So for like the dogs that are trying to lose weight, I do weigh them every week.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So the humans can check in and be like, oh, so we're down a half a pound. I was just having a conversation with someone, they have a dachshund and just 3 pounds overweight, but for a little tiny dog, that's a lot. A lot. And they were celebrating that she was down a half a pound. So just that little bit for a little dog is so much. You mentioned cleaning supplies. I know that just to keep it clean in here, but tell me about your funny stories. Then I got in with you. You've had some like, oh, this just happened. Oh yeah. Tell me about some of the stuff where you had to like really clean up.
Yeah. So I've only, and again, knock on wood that is not in here, I've only had one dog pee on the floor, which I would 100% rather have a dog poop on the mill rather than pee, because pee gets everywhere.
And when it gets into all the grooves.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it happens.
It absolutely happens.
Yeah, I know my stuff gets peed on as a photographer too, and I'm just like, it is what it is. Yeah. Yep.
I went into this job knowing that messes are a thing, so I don't get upset about it at all. So I've had plenty of dogs poop on the slat mill. We'll say, not to get too grainy here, but I would much rather have a solid poop than a loose poop, because a solid poop is obviously a lot easier to clean up. It can definitely get messy, and I did experience this winter especially that, if a dog doesn't want to go outside in the cold and poop, this is kind of the closest thing that they can get to.
Kind of like that, oh, it's warm in here, I'm loosened out. Can I just bring it out a little bit? No, yeah, we're going to let it loose. Okay. I still can see that happening.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And then you got the dogs that, will have an anxious poop, which,
there's that too.
yeah. I mean, again, you can't control.
It's important to walk your dog probably a little bit before. Yes. It's so nice in here, especially when it's cold outside. And they're going to do their thing.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this a while now. You jumped all in, outfitted this van, and you're so busy. I just feel like every time I see you that you're popping up at Premier Pet Supply Scrubbers, you're going to events, and then I've even seen where you come to the photo events at Premier Pet Supply. Feel good story. I know a lot of your clients, but are there any where like you've seen a transformation where this is like this saved or helped or did something incredible for these dogs?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, one of my good friends, Sarah, her dog Groot, he's a silver lab. And I started to get him on the slat mill before I even had the van. Like, I literally had the slat mills in my garage. And then I got the van, and we started him on the slat mill. I harnessed him up, and he bucked right out of the harness. Oh, absolutely not. Like, he did not want to do this. We kept at it because he's such a high energy dog. So we kept at it, and it was probably 3 or 4 full sessions until he started to get used to it and run on his own.
Okay.
And now I go to their house every week, and he's one of my highest running dogs. So if you look at the board, Groot over here goes 15 miles an hour. He is one of the fastest dogs.
It's incredible.
And he gets so pumped to see me. Like, I can literally hear him barking at the window when I pull up with the van. So I would say that that's definitely one of the most rewarding stories.
I absolutely love that. I'm seeing a 15.2 and that down to 11. I mean, even that's He's no slouch even at 11.8. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, just that feel good of like, okay, so he took a few times, like, I don't like this. I'm not sure about this to, oh my gosh, here's my best friend is I get my running in today.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So it might take a few sessions.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like to knock him up on it, right?
He's one story that I always tell a lot of the clients about when their dogs are nervous because again, it could take they could take to it right away. It could take 3 to 4 sessions. It really just all depends on the dog.
Gotcha. So one van, one woman, 2 slat mills.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you could be expanding soon?
Yes.
Or you're that busy?
I do. Yeah. So last month I had probably 135-ish sessions in 1 month.
That sounds exhausting just even thinking about that.
Yeah, and I want to say that when when it was its oldest, I probably had around 150 sessions in one.
So it's cold. People don't want their dogs walking outside, so they're calling you. You also do parties.
Yeah.
So tell me about your parties.
Yeah, so the parties are for people who have not even, just in one house, 6 to 8 dogs.
Okay.
But like if they have a bunch of friends that want to just try it out. Oh, if you have at least 6 dogs for me to run, I will break my service area to come and run your dogs. And the dogs don't even necessarily have to interact. I've had it where people host a party, quote unquote party in their driveway. And some people, especially if their dog is reactive or whatnot, they'll just stay in their car until I'm like, hey, I'm free. Like, let's, get your dog running for 20 minutes.
For a dog party, what is the minimum that you want for something like that? Like how many dogs?
The minimum I would say would be 6.
Okay. So you want at least 6 dogs for a dog party. And you run them all, it's like half-hour increments. Is that what it is?
So 20 minutes. 20 minutes has always been my max because I don't want to overdo it with them.
Okay, so you're doing 20 minutes at a time, and it could be a dog party where their dogs are all in the backyard playing, and you take one at a time when you're running them, or they're waiting in their vehicles. You mentioned service area.
Yeah.
So right now, you're currently in Metro Detroit, but far south, east, where's your service area?
Yeah, so I will go as far east as St. Clair Shores.
Well, I mean, that's almost as far as east as you can get, right?
Yeah.
Say for Canada, right?
My service area is pretty big, which is also, again, kind of why I know that I need to expand. I will go as far west as Livonia, Redford.
Okay.
Actually, I even have some clients that are in like Northville, Novi.
Okay.
And then I will go as far north as Rochester Hills, Troy area.
I've seen your van in Troy.
I even have one client that's in Washington Township. But the clients that are further away, I just ask that they're flexible so that I can schedule them during times that it makes sense so I'm not going from Rochester Hills all the way to
Northville in the same day.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotcha. That is a big service.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
So there's a potential to expand here.
Yeah, like soon.
Yeah, quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've seen you at the Novi Expo. You've done talks about this, and people are genuinely, you bring up a slat mill and people ask questions. And what is the biggest question that people have when they're jumping into this and getting their dog into it? What is their concerns, or, how do they approach you?
So, it's funny. I've had some people come at me fairly hot. I know that at the farmer's market, some guy came up to me and he was like, well, why can't I just walk my dog? And I'm like, well, you can walk your dog.
And that's great for you, right?
Yeah. and that's fantastic. I never want to promote not walking your dog.
Right.
Because there's a difference between this and that. He also has the privilege of being able to walk his dog. Some people don't.
I can see where this is going.
Yeah.
If you aren't able to walk, you're either going to hire a dog walker. What is the difference between this and just hiring a dog walker too? You could, right. This, they get to, climate controlled, so if you have a dog that can't do really super hot days,
yeah,
they're in an air conditioned van. But you're right though.
Yeah.
Why not? If like you said, it's a privilege and an honor to be able to be able to do that because you can't. Here you've got this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, anxious dogs, people ask about like, oh, my dog will never do this.
Oh my gosh. So I will tell you that is the one thing that I would say 90 to 95% of people come up to the van or to me at expos and stuff and says, I don't think that my dog is going to do this. And my response is always, well,
We can always try.
yeah, give it a try. You never know if you don't try.
Right.
So yeah, I would say most people are just nervous that their dog won't do it. And I feel like once someone sees another dog on the slat mill,
Oh.
they all come running because they're like, oh, that's how it works. That's, it doesn't look like they're being forced to do it.
Right.
So
Right.
I would say typically once I
No, it's incredible.
get one dog, they all kind of come flying, especially at expos and festivals and stuff.
They want to see what you're doing. This new thing. I tell you, it's something that I've never seen. Yeah. I mean, in animal welfare, we have seen slat mills. Unfortunately, they're used in dogfighting cases. So there's this negative association with them. But this is not that at all. This is not where you're not trying to condition for fighting or racing or, all those kinds of things. This is pure fun. It's fun. And yeah, giving them that like release of energy, especially if they're living a sedentary life and their owners can't get them out or can't. Some people are disabled. They just literally can't walk their dog. So they have to find other avenues. Yeah, this is it.
And that's also another reason why I limit it to 20 minutes.
Oh,
Because, I feel like when slat mills were used, and they still are used in dog fighting cases, but
that's an episode coming soon that we're going to talk about animal welfare. Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah. And why this is very different from them.
very different. In cases like that, they run the dog ragged, so that's why I always tell people 20 minutes max.
Gotcha. Yeah. And especially sometimes the high driven dogs like Malinois, sometimes they don't know when to quit.
Exactly.
And so you have to limit them. So they take that break and because their brain ticks a little bit differently and you need them to let's refocus.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's incredible. Tell me about your fastest dog. I know you mentioned Groot. He's pretty fast.
Yep.
So I know there's a couple other ones that are like, they kill it. So tell me about your, not that this is a competition.
So there is a pup named Tessa, who is a Malin.
Oh, of course.
She goes absolutely buck wild on this. Her mom typically just lets her out of the garage. She comes right to the van, and sometimes it takes me a minute to catch her and actually get her onto the slat mill because her brain is already just how do I get it going?
And Team Megan, I want to go. Let's go. Let's go.
So yeah, Tessa goes pretty fast. I want to say she's probably around 12, 13 miles per hour.
Okay.
And then I also have this tiny little 35-pound pit bull named Tolly.
Okay.
Who absolutely kills it.
Yeah. I think I've seen her videos too.
Yeah, she goes pretty.
And she looks like she's smiling.
Oh my God, she loves it.
So happy when she's running and just that's incredible.
Yeah.
Do you know how old they are? Are they younger dogs or are they older dogs?
Not necessarily. Groot, who we mentioned earlier, he's maybe 6 or 7.
So that's middle age.
And Tessa, I want to say, is 3.
Okay, so it's young still. Yeah.
And then Tolly is 10.
And she's killing it. That's incredible. Yeah. Wow. So you have all ages too. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yep. It doesn't really matter. And they can go at their own pace. So if they're just slow going, unless they're moving. Yeah. And moving keeps you moving. Yeah. Right? So that's so cool. So I want to close with, I know you mentioned Lila. I love Lila. She's just the sweetest and she's lean and she's this, very spirited dog, right? But you also have, tell me about your personal dog.
So yeah, Lila is my lab collie mix. She is, I want to say, going on 6.
Okay.
That sounds crazy because it feels like just yesterday that I got her.
Right.
She's my reactive dog. Obviously in the house, I do have one other dog, and through training, I have gotten them to be, copacetic with each other. They're totally neutral. They absolutely love each other.
That's incredible that you were, but it took time though, didn't it?
Oh, it took a lot of
Yeah.
it took a lot of time. And even still, I have to just watch,
Yeah.
just
She has her moments.
yeah, she definitely has her moments. And then I have Ty, who is my classic American bulldog.
He's a little squishy.
Oh my God. I absolutely love the bulldogs. I know that they are not bred the greatest, but I will say with Ty being a classic American bulldog, he does have like a longer snout.
Okay.
So he does have a little bit more stamina. He doesn't have those breathing issues. He definitely has the allergies that a typical bulldog would have, unfortunately. But they are two very completely different dogs.
And do you run them both?
Yeah, I do. So Lila, literally, if you squeak a ball, she's gonna go, oh yeah, absolutely. Ty, I have to have a treat up to his nose to get him going.
Okay.
Food is the only motivator ever. Gotta have the food for
I love that. But I think it's amazing. You have worked with dogs and you haven't always been this. You've been a trainer, you've been a dog au pair. Isn't that what you call it?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you've done all these different things, and I'm not gonna put words in your mouth, but me knowing you, that it was the health of your dogs that motivated you to do this. And or even Lila needing an outlet that is creative. I feel like because you've worked with them and you understand them, you also understand. I've seen you in analyzing dog body language and knowing like, oh, this is going to work. We'll be fine. And it's like that. They take right to it because you know how to assess that.
Yeah.
Because of your years and years of experience with them. So I think a huge part of why I wanted to have you on though is this is new, it's creative, but also your love of animals is what brought you here, and this is something for yourself.
Yeah, I've been working with dogs since I was 20, 21, and now I'm 35. So it's, I would like to say that I can read a dog fairly.
Oh, I trust your judgment. If I had to bring you a dog that I was worried about, I know I could trust you. You understand that body language, and like, hey, let's back up for a second.
Yeah,
And get some space.
Well, and kind of coming back to that 20-minute maximum is, especially a dog that runs fast, like we're talking about Tessa, Groot, Tolly. Yes, 20 minutes is my max. But if a dog is going crazy fast like that, I'm always watching them. I'm watching their breathing. So if 20 minutes isn't what we do, then 20 minutes isn't what we do. I will give them breaks. I will stop them at 15 minutes. If I have two dogs in the van at once, I will do 10 minutes with one, 20 minutes with the other, and then another 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So it's not always 20 minutes. It's not always cookie cutter.
Good point. So it might be 17 minutes and this dog's tapping out. Like, I'm not in this anymore. So yeah, like we're done.
And especially on a first session,
Oh, gotcha.
typically I won't do a full 20 minutes because I want to end it on a good note where they're still excited about it and still happy. I don't want to run them ragged.
Right. You want them to want to come back as the dog, like, oh, I want to enjoy this. Yeah, it's perfect. Is there anything else you want to share with people about this? I feel like we have a story brewing with this, and like, if you're going to expand and all the things that I think you're going to do, I mean, we're going to have to talk about it later. So yeah, like share with us.
I could literally talk about it all day.
So that's what's telling me that you love.
I do. I absolutely love this. It's a big passion, and even if and when I do expand, I don't want to be the one that is just behind the marketing or just behind the socials. I want to be the one that is actually running dogs because it just purely makes me.
You love seeing that joy on their faces and on that. And that's what brought you to this. It's amazing. Well, I really appreciate you being on the show for me today. And I just, I adore all the things that you are trying to make happen for people and their dogs in Metro Detroit. I just see that this is something that it's going to go places, and I just love it for you. So thank you.
I appreciate you. Well, thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Hey friends, thank you so much for tuning into the show today. And before we wrap up, we want to hear from you. We've mentioned listener mail before, but so far we've only received one message, and that's okay. We know you've got stories to share. We now have a new email address just for listener mail, and we'd absolutely love to hear from you. Send us your stories, your feedback, or even just a hello from your dog, cat, or any beloved pet that you have in your life. We want to share your voices and your pets with our community. And a bonus, If we read your message on the air, you could score some fun prizes and giveaways. You can reach us at dogsinthed@greatlakespet.org, and we'll have the email in our show notes so you can find us there. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch up next time. Stay kind, stay curious, and give your dog a cookie for me.